The fans have turned out for me today in Rock Week. And we found this really big rock behind us because it's Rock Week. So this week we've had some exciting stuff happen actually. So we've spent the week choosing the stone. So we're using natural stone all throughout the build. And we've had a couple of trips. So flew down to Sydney to view some slabs of some quartzite which we have decided we'll be using through some of the bathrooms and also in the kitchen. Very exciting trip down to Melbourne yesterday and the day before with Domus. So we'll be speccing some of their beautiful Esmeralda or Smeraldo quartzite for the kitchen and the main bathroom, and some of the gorgeous terracotta tiles for the bathroom. So it was awesome to go down and view all their products in situ and see how they look en masse, not just in small little samples, and learn about all the products. So we're really excited to be putting all of those things together in the build. Getting a little bit interesting with some of the finishes, but I think it should be hopefully amazing. What else do we need to know about Rock Week? So we've chosen quartzite to use through the build. So natural stone obviously has some inherent properties in it which make it more or less suitable for different areas. So quartzite is one of the hardest options, which means that it's more user-friendly once it's installed, more difficult to work with for the stonemasons. So we've got to balance that. Obviously we'll have some extra manufacturing costs, and it raises the risk of obviously cracking and those types of issues with manufacture. So having a really hard stone obviously makes it a little bit more difficult to work with, which limits some of what we can do with the designs. But because of the style of build that we're going for, which is a little bit more to the brutalist end of the spectrum, we will be just using fairly monolithic designs for the build. So quartzite works in really well with that, and it's going to be much more user-friendly in the long term with kids and actually using these things in a kitchen. Quartzite's pretty bomb-proof in terms of marbles you can spill things on, tends to actually impact the finish, so you have to be a little bit more careful and a little bit particular with how you use those, whereas quartzite, being so hard, is much more user-friendly when it comes to actually using these things in spaces where you've got wine and sauces and children and oils. So we will be going with those, and they're also just beautiful, so very excited to see them in the space. So you may have noticed from our stories earlier in the week, we might have hinted towards what is upcoming for the next week. So we have dug ourselves a hole and we're going to fill it with concrete and turn it into a pool. So next week we'll be taking you through the process, some of the design concept behind that, and then showing you the actual progress, which is currently just starting. So exciting to see our giant big hole in the ground. Signing off on Rock Week. Don't do that. Signing off on Rock Week.